Hello, this is YouTube channel Israel Reclaiming the Birthright, Lesson 32. I want to discuss the real day of Shavuot. Most of the Jewish world celebrated it on the eve of June 1st. That's the wrong day. The real day is June 8th, and I want to prove it to you. In Leviticus 23, it says in verse 5, "In the first month of the 14th day of the month at dusk is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the selfsame day is the Feast of Unleavened Bread." Now the rabbis take that as the Shabbat, which is the basis for counting the omer starting on the following day. Because it says, "And you shall wave the omer," the sheaf, "before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath." Now the Sabbath that the rabbis call the Sabbath is actually the first day of Passover. And they begin counting on the day after, which brings them to the eve of June 1st as the beginning of the holiday of Shavuot. But if you go to verse 14, "And you shall eat neither bread," etc., until you have brought that omer. So this was a controversy for thousands of years. The only ones that got it right were the Ethiopians. They saw that the Sabbath that was referred to in verse 11 of chapter 23 is the day after, is the seventh day of Passover. So they began counting on the day after the seventh day of Passover, and they got to the real day of Shavuot, which began on the eve of June 8th, making June 9th the actual day of Shavuot. So it's an incredible time now with the world uniting as it did during Hitler's Nazi regime against the Jewish people. The United Nations, which was always our enemy, is in the forefront of attacking Israel. We need to be at one with our Creator. And like we've discussed before, we have to make the tikkun of Adam and do what God really wants, as he says in the Hebrew Bible, in the Tanakh. So we have to really please God and love him with all our hearts, our minds, and our souls, and our might. And we can start by celebrating the real Shavuot on the eve of June 8th. You've got the verses, you can read them yourself. Now, since this is June 5th, I want to just say what happened 58 years ago. It was the beginning of the Six-Day War. It was a miraculous, incredible war where Israel defeated the combined forces of all the Arab armies that came against us. I remember it vividly. I'm sure many of you do. Now, since this is a serious war brewing and all the world is coming against us, and we need the victories, hopefully without any more losses, let's start to please God. We need to observe the regular Shabbat, which comes every week, and we need to observe the real holiday of Shavuot, which begins this coming Sunday night. Anyway, I hope you take this to heart. May the Lord God of Israel bless us all to use our common sense and return to him and be at one with him and love him the way he wants to be loved and shows us in the Hebrew Bible, in the Tanakh. Have a good day.